Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, news, pop culture, music, lifestyle, everything really. Depending on the guests, we talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Permiotis, on social media, known as PD Beats. My guest is an actor, a storyteller. You'll recognize him from a film coming out called Reefa, and he's also in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well, an episode of that. Tyler Dean Flores is with us. Tyler, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm excited to chat with you. We're going to get into your projects, but when did you decide that storytelling was something you wanted to do? Was there something that led you towards it?
Well, not really. I guess like from a kid, I've just always wanted to provide for myself and for my family. And I just found that modeling was the only way for me to do that at 10 years old. So then my modeling agency brought me over to acting, and it was just an instant click for me from then on.
Absolutely. Yeah, you hear those stories a lot too. You hear this like the modeling, or I've heard the other way around too. Like I've heard like I acted, but then I just wanted to do modeling. I've heard that one too.
Modeling is so much easier. All you have to do is just stand in front of the camera and smile. That's it.
So we're talking about your film Reefa. Two things that come to mind when I watch this film: important and powerful. Am I on the right track here?
Yes, man. Love to hear those words, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, what was it like preparing for a role like this, man? This is just kind of a big role, a big story, and just so important and powerful, like we said, man.
Yeah, I mean, I really just try to find what Reefa lived for as a person and what he felt like he wanted to represent. So I just found those things and kind of honed in on those kind of things. And then also just getting in a rhythm of getting back into skateboarding, because I taught myself how to skate when I was younger. So just picking that back up and picking up, painting and stuff like that, drawing. And that was pretty much it. Me and Reefa and I were very similar. So it wasn't that hard. It's
one of those things too, where you look at a role like this. I mean, people know what you guys go, like people know how it happens, right? Like, you audition for something, you read and everything. Yeah. You get this role. I mean, what was the preparation like for this? You mentioned, the skateboarding and everything, but diving deeper, I mean, this is like, this is very heavy and very important, very impactful. Was there anything specifically preparation-wise you did to like prep yourself for a role like this?
No, because I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It's like no one really knows like when they're gonna die, right? At all. So you just continue to act and live however you're living, like it's any other day. So I didn't really have to think about like, death as much. I just really, to make the film, I guess, as powerful as possible, I just try to think about life as much as possible and show that life.
And you know what? I mentioned, how important and impactful this story is of Reefa, but one thing also I really enjoyed about the film, and I'd like you to comment on it, is the cast is just fantastic. You guys had an unbelievable cast for this film.
For sure. Cast was amazing. The family, we felt like real family. I actually knew Clara, who plays my love interest, Frankie, prior to filming. So it was fun to be on set as like working actors and working together. And of course, like Cynthia, George, Izana, Carlos with a K, Pam, everyone was just amazing.
Absolutely. Now, have you had a chance to, like, I always ask this because I never know, okay? Have you watched Reefa?
I have not.
That's why I've asked.
I have not.
That's why I asked, because I don't want to like assume, you know what I mean? But
sure.
Have you seen trailers?
I watched the trailer on mute. That's what I did. I just turned, every time I'm on Instagram and someone posts a trailer, I just have to like lower my phone immediately.
Okay, so I'm gonna obviously pivot with my question. It's more like, what was the reaction from your family and friends with like the trailer and the movie so far?
They love it, man. They really do. They're they're super excited about it.
Absolutely.
Comes out in a week, so they have a
It's
few more
like calm
days.
before the storm a little bit, eh?
Exactly.
So what's that been like preparing for it finally going to be out there?
I mean, it feels so good because we filmed this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, and then especially everything that has happened this past year. Like we were supposed to premiere last year, didn't happen because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're back, and it feels a lot stronger as well.
Absolutely. Now, another project that people have seen you in recently is you're in an episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. You're a flag smasher.
I am a flag smasher. It feels good that I can finally say it. I'm a flag smasher.
We knew it was going to be huge, but like this is just broke. Like it broke. Like it's bigger than huge.
Yeah.
Did you expect it to be like this? Is like crazy. Like the people are loving the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't really think about stuff like that, because if I do, it'll like drive me crazy while I'm filming. I'd be super nervous and like going to the bathroom every 2 seconds, before I film the scene. But yeah, I mean, we went for it, man. All my castmates were super close friends. We're on group chats together. We're super close with each other, and we're glad that people are liking the show.
Absolutely. Reefa and Falcon and Winter Soldier are obviously two different projects. Did you hope that was going to be something as well, that you were going to be able to, as Tyler Dean Flores, the storyteller, the actor, be able to work on a lot of different kind of variety of projects?
100%. They're like two completely different.
Completely different.
And they have a Marvel that's just like on every single billboard out here. It's super cool to be a part of both. And that's what I want my career to be like, to be able to do those kind of things, but also do the indie stuff as well, and just do stuff that I enjoy, that I like.
Absolutely. It's interesting because I interview a lot of. Do you find the term indie and independent is a bit kind of skewed these days? I listen to a lot of I talk to a lot of like indie rock bands, and they're huge. And is it like independent and DIY? Like it's ironic. Like bands like Vampire Weekend, Arctic Monkeys, Tame Impala, indie rock. These bands are playing stadiums. Some of the biggest movies and best movies out there are independent films. Have you ever thought about that?
For sure, it just says a lot, because there's so much. I mean, on both ends, there's a lot of heart and stuff, but like when you're on set on an indie and just like the budget is like super low and everyone is just like kind of doing their thing, it's cool, man. It's like I feel like they're different processes as well, like more behind the scenes. But as an actor, you bring that same energy on both ends, whether it's indie or Marvel, you still 100%.
Yeah. Now, do you find it, whether your experience or your friends that work in it, that like the different, like the indie, the non-indie, like the big, the small, same mindset? What about TV versus film? Is that the same thing? Kind of the mindset is the same, or is that different? Because I've heard a different thing from a lot of people. Like some people go in and they prepare differently for a TV show than a movie, or some people are just like it's the same. Because I find that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the project.
Yeah.
Because there can be a project on TV that's just like, that has a lot of that indie feel.
Yeah.
So you have to bring that same energy as you would with an indie audition to a TV audition. So it does depend on just the vibe and the project itself.
There's a lot of people in the entertainment industry that are wearing many hats, whether it's something they're used to or not used to. I mean, a lot of people are, they're acting like yourself, but they're also writing, they're producing, they're behind the camera as well. Is that something you want to kind of do and dabble into a little bit, is doing stuff, not just acting, maybe doing the storytelling aspect for behind the camera, Tyler?
For sure. I would love to do that. Yeah, man, that's definitely on my list.
But do you find it's like happens naturally? Like you're working, and I'm sure like creative juices are always flowing. You and the cast of Reefa, right? You're bouncing ideas back. Like it's got to happen. I feel like it's a natural thing that happens.
Yeah, and it really depends on the people that you have around you, because that also influences the creative juices. Like sometimes you're around, actors who all make music, and all of a sudden you're making music, or you're around actors that are writing all day and directing stuff, and you find yourself shooting a short film behind the scenes, you know? So it really depends like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The obvious answer to this question is you hope they enjoy it. You hope that they recommend it to their family and friends. And we talk about how important and huge this story is. Diving deeper into it, Tyler, what are you hoping people get out of Reefa when they watch it?
Well, of course, this shines light on Reefa's case,
Yes.
but the most important part to me is I hope they really get a feel of, and feel inspired by Reefa's character.
Yes.
How brave he was, how he wasn't afraid to express himself no matter what.
Yep.
How he just wanted to uplift everyone and just kind of see this person that was filled with love, and hopefully they're inspired by that and they can look at their lives and maybe want to go, express themselves in a cool, creative way, or uplift their love partner, or uplift their family. So I hope that's what they take away. That's what I took away from this character.
And for you, what were some projects that you kind of took away? Like, it's interesting because you want people to be influenced by this film. For you specifically, what were films or the style that influenced you as a storyteller?
Wow. It's funny. I really like a lot of family films. I find like a lot of the films that I really like or connect to are family films. One of them is Place Beyond the Pines. That was written and directed by Derek Cianfrance. It's like one of my favorite films because of that whole dynamic, that family dynamic and that legacy and stuff like that. Like I love that whole tone and story of that movie. It's one of my favorites.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many. You say there's so many that come to mind, but it's huge that a lot of movies these days are throwing that in there. Like family is like something that's important in a lot of films these days.
Yeah, it's everything, family, because that represents like love and stuff. And I mean, it means so much. Like my dad is visiting me right now. And before I got on this conference, like we were just talking about that, like how he raised me and my brother and I, and really helped set that foundation for us and just have that relationship, and I'm just like, I hope I can do that for my child,
Yeah, no, 100%. Tyler, I want to thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
So Reefa is going to be out in a week, which is exciting.
Yep. April 16th is going to be on VOD, all digital platforms. And then it's going to come to a streaming service very soon. And then I have Birthday Cake coming out soon, which is a movie with Val Kilmer, Ewan McGregor, Lorraine Bracco. And then I'm in another movie called 18 and Over with Ashley Benson that should be coming out hopefully later this year, next year. And
it's interesting because these are movies that are done, right? And people are going to be like, oh, wow, like he's busy. But you probably film these movies like in spurts, right?
For sure. Like, look at Reefa. Like, we filmed that 2 years ago and it's just coming out.
I feel like people don't realize that. They don't get it, I find.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, you kind of grow as a person, too. Mm-hmm. So some decisions that you made 2 years ago probably wouldn't be the same decisions you'll make today. But it's like, it's part of the art, man. It's like, it just is what it is,
Absolutely. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything, Tyler?
You can just find me at Tyler Dean Flores. That's on everything, on Instagram, Twitter. I mainly use Instagram, so hit me up on that.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Be sure to catch Tyler Dean Flores in Reefa. It's a great film. I really enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Tyler Dean Flores and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.